All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another stream. So I'm going to go ahead and post stream announcements on my social media real quick, and then we'll go ahead and get started. A bit off to a we're off to a bit of a late start because I had something very exciting come in the mail, and I had to take a quick little tangent to put it together. So my stylist figure from Karma Studio came in, and he is absolutely gorgeous. Although there is a piece that came off that I'm not sure if it was supposed to come off or if it broke off, but his arm fits a lot better now that it came off and went back into place without much of a issue. So I'm just gonna like copium and say that was meant to come off. Although I will say it was an interesting choice for some of like the red sash to cover the birds. I'll have to look up a picture of the figure itself later to figure out if I put that together correctly or not, but my husband looks amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all of these up and posted. Then we will hop into stream. Give me 1 minute. There's a bark. There's a dog barking in the distance. Which one is YouTube? Okay, here we go. Eh, eh. Wait, I can't post. Wait, let me post an image. And I have big thumb issues. I cannot spell. And I still need to figure out a way to keep track of chat. So. I should really get together a waiting screen. But sometimes I really do just start late. One day I'll get my shit together. One day. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I still need to pull up the chats. I fear for the day I need to move because I got a lot of shit to move. It's gonna be. I'm one of the things, like, the older I get and the more stuff I buy, the more I realize, like, damn, I am one expensive human being. Okay, now let me go pull up Twitch. I feel like I could have done this better. I'm starting to get the feeling I'm gonna have to download the stream managers at the very least because I do not know how to stay on top of the chats. Because I'll be honest, I think it's kind of stupid that OBS by default doesn't come with like some sort of like pop-up chat that just hovers off in the corner and is just there. Like, genuinely, I think that's kind of dumb. Because the YouTube Live control panel, that's just to edit settings. I forgot I also need to log in. and you can't do Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So again, kind of stupid. Custom browser docs. Oh. Wait, give me 1 second. I want to try something. Do the chats come with their own URLs? I want to try something. Okay, no, that's not it. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna figure that out in this chat, but anyway, gonna try and yeah, let's just go to the card and then we could go to Twitch from there. Ooh, I have not updated the stream schedule. Oopsies. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Hopefully this will work. And I just need you. Oh gosh, it's the one thing I low-key kind of don't like from Twitch is because it'll prioritize the screen size for the stream itself. But it's doing what it's supposed to. It's just not what I need. Again, I need to get my shit together. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our Femboy. So we finally can get started on the emotional support boys and getting them all nice and rendered. So I've already started a little bit with the Femboy and wrong app. So I've already gotten started with the Femboy a bit, and so part of his face is already starting to get some color. I do need to refine the shadows a little bit more, and okay. My tour box is just taking its sweet time connecting. Come on, I know you can do it. Okay. All right. I think it's trying to get its life together. I don't know. Okay, there we go. My computer's slow today. I will not be surprised if something crashes during today's stream because I almost did crash my computer before stream started. Oopsies. Anyway. Okay, Femboy. So we've already got some of his face already started. I can tell there's a very noticeable lag. Okay, we'll see how long we can stream tonight. And hopefully this thing lets me make some progress. Yeah, because there's a very obvious delay. Like I'm staring at his ear right now, and I know that's one of the things I'm gonna forget to. I'm gonna forget to shade in. do, 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 do. I feel kind of like doing a small little comic series with these three. And like low key, I'm thinking for the femboy, like this isn't his hair like dyed and styled like this. It's just a wig. And like the twink and the cat boy are both in shock because they didn't see that coming. Like they genuinely thought that was his hair. I'm thinking about Rides of the Starling right now. And there's a part of me that's wondering, like, in the story, do they ever make it obvious that Odessa and I forgot her name, the her mother, like, do they ever give it away in the story? Like, how early do they give it away that these aren't two women like traveling a continent at the same time, but rather, um, one story is set in. I guess it would have. Okay. I guess it would have made sense if you figured that part out when they reveal that Odessa's dad was the king. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'm just stupid because at that point in time, I'm just like, wait a minute. I thought the king was. Is he a royal? Does he is he like? I was so confused because my brain hadn't fully caught on with the fact that no, that the like you're getting the story of her parents alongside her, and yeah, I had a hot minute because I had already like I like my brain already like was already confirming that, but then like I had doubts like no wait I thought they were like I was in denial for a good like because I genuinely thought like we were telling two different journeys that were happening at the same time. But I guess it didn't fully click with my brain until the very end that oh that was her parents' story. Sometimes I'm slow. Even though like I'm aware enough to know that's what's happening, but then I'll second guess and then it's just like, oh wait, I was right. I'm stupid, I was right. That's what that was. I think that's the best I can do for her face. The thread that looks down. And the thread that works in darkness. I feel like I want to swap out like the way I do noses at some point. Okay, let me go ahead and start working on other areas because I feel like there's still something to do with her face, but at the same time, I don't know what it is. But I also don't know if like I don't want to overdo it either when it might just be like everything else still looks flat and I'm still like trying to you know what? I think I'll move on to other areas before I accidentally overdo this one. Yeah, let's go ahead and start working on other areas. I feel like her eyes could use the most touch up, possibly even her areas of her nose. But we'll touch that up later. Let me just start getting to work on other areas. I think I'm going to begin with her hand. And for this one, because I've kind of started working on her face already, I am going to block off the hand. Actually, that part doesn't really matter. It just needs to be the parts that are near her face. I'll go ahead and cut into the neck a little bit, but yeah, I'm gonna have to be a little bit more cautious when I approach that one. Let's see. Because all I need to render belly, legs, neck, and her other hand, or his other hand. I'm misgendering my own character. Oh, joys. The joys of being a parent. Hands are like the weirdest things on the planet. Would you even see the thumb in that position? Okay. You know what? You know what? We're already here. We're already in the trenches. That thumb gets to do whatever it wants. I don't know why I just don't do this part with like the airbrush tool, but I feel like to get to the color that I want, it's just easier to just blur things out ultimately, and then go back with one of the softer brushes to darken up the shadows. I'm debating on how I'm gonna approach rendering all of the boys. If I'm just gonna go ahead and do all their like skin rendering first and then move on to their clothes and other features, like kind of similar to how I batch the line art and everything else. Like I guess it would help them get done roughly within the same time periods as each other. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Because I'm trying to figure out like the most efficient ways to like get them done. Because I feel like batching it helps get them done within the same time period, which is a huge help, especially for series. But at the same time, I don't know if I'm giving them each their like justice, like the time they need in order to get fully fleshed out. Is again one of the things that I keep having that harsh reminder of when it comes to this portion of the process, that I cannot just rush through my rendering. Like I need to take my time when I render. Otherwise, I'm going to be rushing through things. It's not going to look right. And yeah, like every single time, like I think like, okay, I can do this really quick. I'm quickly humbled when it doesn't come out the way that I want it to, or it doesn't come out looking very good. So like I know there has to be a more efficient way to do this, but I'm not like skill wise, I'm still figuring it out. But then that's kind of one of the beauties of art. Like you're slowly figuring it out. I feel like the some of the quick wins for this evening are going to be her or his legs. Definitely his legs. Famous last words. And the smaller areas. Okay. So all I'm doing right now is just going in with the airbrush tool with my lightest color, just to kind of bring, pretty much just to cover up any of like those rough edges that came in with blending out everything. Okay. Yeah, her face or his face is gonna need a little bit more of a touch up, and I just realized I don't have my water anywhere near me. Okay, so now I think we'll move on to his neck. And once again, because we just want to make sure we don't touch anything from the face area or the fingers, just gonna mask off the areas that I don't want to accidentally touch. Okay, there we go. Oh, battery, battery, battery. Where's my charger? One day I'm gonna electrocute myself. As if I haven't already almost electrocuted myself as a toddler. Got it. Sometimes I think about that one time, and I got really lucky. I got really lucky. Still amazes me that that is like the one thing I remember from that time period. All I'm gonna say that is this: if you are a parent and you are visiting the home of a relative or family member whose home is not baby proof, do not take your eye off of your child for 1 second, because they will try to find ways to entertain themselves. I happen to be one of those children. Anyway, yeah, my mother should have kept me on a baby leash. Like, I know there are some people that say like baby leashes seem unnecessarily cruel or whatever, but no, no. There are children that there is a reason why those baby leashes exist. And I'm more than likely one of the reasons why baby leashes exist. Because the funny thing is, sometimes my mom would take me grocery shopping, and she would let me like, I wouldn't like, days that she didn't have a cart, I would basically be free roaming. And sometimes like I'd see something, either I'd stop and like take a look for a little bit longer, or just anything that catches my eye, I just wander off in that direction. And there are times that my mom wouldn't catch it. And I just wander off. And then one time we were at a supermarket in the middle of like a blackout, and then my mom just started screaming my name, and I was just like, I didn't even respond back. I was just sitting there. The nice thing is like when all of this, like when I was growing up, thankfully it was a pretty good community, and whenever I wandered off, why were you scanning? Well, no wonder you were going so slow. Oh, crying out loud. Anyway, so like one time we were at a grocery store and the power went out, and thankfully it was a very good community, because I did wander away from my mom and I was in a completely different aisle from her, and she was panicking. And thankfully one of the store associates saw me wander off, and she's like, she's over here, she's over here. Yeah, yeah, no, like I know some people think they're cruel and unusual, but no, they're There is a reason baby leashes exist, and toddlers toddle. Toddle. If you're not keeping an eye on them, toddlers will toddle. And I happen to be one of those toddlers that toddled. My poor mother had to put up with me. So, like, if I ever see, like, and genuinely on top of that, I just think baby leashes are kind of cute. At least they make them cute. Like, more than likely, I will also be investing in a baby leash if I ever have children. Because if they're anything like me, oh, I know they're gonna wander off whenever something catches their eye. If they're gonna be anything like their mother, I trust that they will wander off. I guess that's also one of the difficulties when also traveling with me, and maybe one of the reasons why I also enjoy doing things alone is that I the only person I need to be responsible for is myself, and nobody else needs to be responsible for me, so I can go off and do whatever I want. Yeah, I'm the kind of person that's like, and genuinely this has come to backfire. Like, genuinely, I'm just the kind of person that, like, for context, I don't know if it like I don't know if it's one of those things that because I'm an only child, I'm so used to being by myself that for me, like, other like considering other people for plans like doesn't rarely crosses my mind. Like, for example, if I have the thought of I want to go somewhere even though it's weeks out, like it's gonna be weeks of me like debating, am I gonna do this thing? Am I gonna do this thing? And then the morning of I decide whether or not I'm gonna do the thing. Unless like I need to place reservations and the reservations forces me to go do the thing, regardless of how I feel. But then sometimes like I'll decide to go do something based off of how I wake up and I'm just like, okay, let's go. So yeah, people kind of come as an afterthought to me a lot of the time. And again, I don't know if it's just like one of those things that because I grew up in an only child, like I just got so used to doing things on my own, especially given that like my parents were very protective. Um, I think at some point I'm just like, I can just go and do things on my own now. I don't need parental supervision. Like, because my parents really just safety in numbers. They didn't want anything bad to happen to me, especially again, I'm their only child. So like, and they've had a rough time with conceiving. So it's like even at my current age, like they could not bear the thought of losing me. But then again, I go off and do shit. And I think that's like the other thing too is that like I'll just go and do things by myself a lot. It's like, I'm sorry, like this is what you raised. I finally got the freedom you guys deprived me of most of my life, and yeah, I'm gonna use it. You probably don't like me traveling alone, but you also restricted how I hung out with my friends, so I'm better off just doing things solo. Yeah, the I have criticisms of like overly protective parenting, being the child of two very overprotective parents. And there was even a joke I had with a couple of my friends that at some point were I was convinced that if my parents could, they'd probably keep me chained up at home, just so I wouldn't get hurt. And then I go and off and do shit like airsoft that I enjoy, and yeah, no, they're I was good. I now have the freedom that I was deprived. Because one of the things about me too is like just naturally I'm just very curious. I'm just very curious. There are things that you learn not to bring up with your parents, but yeah, no, like there are certain things I would love to try and do at some point in my life. This is also me saying that I'm still very tempted to learn how to ride a motorcycle. And the offer is right there too. Like I now know someone who could teach me. and who is very all gung ho about getting as many people on a bike as possible. Oh. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh no 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 no! That is a scorpion. Oh fuck me! How did you get in? How did you even fucking get in? Oh my gosh! And you crawled under the table, and there's no light under. Okay. There is a bug in my home, and now I need to kill it. Every year, at least once a year this shit happens. Where'd you fucking go? How did you even get in? Where did you get in from? Nobody invited you inside. Where did you fucking go so I can kill you? I went under the table and I'm on my chair. I don't have shoes on. Oh, this is gonna end terribly if I don't find this thing. Okay. So I think I'm gonna end stream early tonight because that is something that I do need to deal with because I don't think I'm gonna sleep with that thing. And the last thing I need is a medical emergency. Uh yeah, I don't trust bugs. Oh, and I don't know where that thing went. So I'm gonna end stream early tonight, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the crochet stream, I guess, if I can find this fucker. Yeah. Good night, everyone. I have to deal with this. There's a bug in my home. Okay. Have a good night.